And stop crying myself to sleep every night at this long position I've been stuck in. Hello, I'm Hayden Bloomfield and welcome to the channel. So Tesla is finally rebounding. So in the last couple of days we've seen Tesla stock price start to rebound from lows. I think the lowest it got to was about 886 in the last few weeks, after hitting highs of, I think it was 12.43 if I've done my memory well. So yeah, we've seen a huge drop, Tesla losing like over 25% of market value in the space of a few weeks. A lot of that all around Musk selling. And so now we've started to see a little bit of a rebound there, hitting, as I record this, hitting today in the sort of 1060 region at the moment, which is great news. I'm really happy because the last share I bought was at 930, so already seeing a gain on that. Not that it will be realised for a very long time. Still bummed out though because the share I bought prior to that was at 1100, and even more bummed out because my trading for December has been at £0 because I was in a trade at 1175 break even in a long position for December, and I entered a second position just below that. I broke my rule. I didn't enter a significant drop. I entered thinking that it was going to be charging up for the day. So I made a big mistake there, and as you can imagine, a break even of 1175 hitting lows of 886, I saw some pretty big losses, or yeah, a pretty significant number. I think it was like minus 18 grand at the worst was the position. Hopefully we're going to start seeing a recovery. I'll talk through my theories of why it started to rebound now and what we could be seeing in the next few months. So I think there's three significant things that's creating the rebound now. There's a lot of speculation at the moment as to whether or not Elon Musk is done selling his 10% stake in Tesla based on his options that he's exercising now. And depending on how it's looked at and how it's calculated, it may or may not be done. Elon Musk has stated it will be paying over $11 billion in tax this year, of which the calculations in the maths have been done to say that it's sort of around that region now, so we could see that he's done selling. However, there has been some more F4 forms filed, so with some selling done since the speculation. So I think there's still a bit more, but from that, I feel like the rebound has had three factors in that. Firstly, if Elon is done selling, the act of selling shares will put downward pressure on a stock price. So therefore, with the quantity that Elon Musk is selling, that is putting a lot of downward pressure on the market to send the price down. So if Elon's done selling, firstly, that's a reason to rebound. Secondly, there have been a lot of traders and a lot of funds that have had short positions on Tesla recently for the fact that Elon Musk is selling, and therefore knowing that he's selling, that's going to put downward pressure. By then taking large short positions, that's going to put more downward pressure on the market to make for some huge profits, no doubt, for some people. Or you get idiots like me that went in long, but we all know my rule, never short Tesla, don't bet against Elon. So in the long term, I'll win for that. And thirdly, I've just realised there's 4 points actually, sorry. Thirdly is, I think, with all of the speculation around Elon being done selling, that will open eyes to investors who now, if someone's been eyeing up Tesla, thinking of buying in and holding a long position, there's a lot of fluctuations in the market at the moment and a lot of uncertainty. So it is quite volatile, extremely volatile at the moment. So I think that's been putting people off for quite a while, and therefore, with the news that Elon Musk may be done, I think a lot of potential investors there have seen the opportunity and gone, no, this is my moment, I'm buying in. If Elon's done selling, it's sitting around 900 or 950. We've seen 1240 plus in the last few weeks, then yep, here's my opportunity, I've bought in. And also in trading now with the speculation, the fourth reason I think is that people will be taking long positions and leveraging taking long positions on Tesla, and therefore these combination, the combo of the four will put a lot of upward pressure on Tesla. I just hope it's here to stay, and we'll start to see the 1100s, 1150s come back and hopefully exceed 1200. If we can exceed 1200, I'll do well in my trade. So, and it will make up for the astronomical overnight fees I'll be paying for the whole of Christmas, and it will make me quite happy for Christmas, if we can see that. I'm not sure. I've not studied stocks and shares for long enough to know what happens over the Christmas time and how that can impact the market volatility, the short-term micro volatility of the markets at that point. As we do head into the new year though, there are a lot of positive catalysts for Tesla coming up. We've got the launch, hopefully, finally, in January, of the new factories Berlin and Giga Berlin, Giga Texas. God, if Berlin finally opens after all of the bureaucracy that's going on there and the delays, and then with Giga Texas finally opening, we've got those 2 new factories. I think that's going to have a really positive impact on the stock price there with the launch of those. Additionally, we've got the 4680 ramp that's going into production. We've started to see production, but going into the mass production there, where we'll start to see the cars being manufactured with 4680. So that's very exciting. So these are all really positive catalysts for Tesla. Plus, we could potentially see maybe the release of the next model. The speculation of the Model 2 or the Model Q, I quite like the name of. I hope we won't see any announcements of that for 2022. I'd like to think the focus will be on the Model Y, the Model 3, just ramping those, getting as many out as possible, pumping them out of Berlin into the mass of Europe, so that I think if the model like Q is introduced, it will just put a lot of attention there, and maybe there'll be people that are looking at the Model 3 potentially and think, well, I might as well just wait for the Model Q now and not bother with the Model 3. If I can, rather than getting a 50 grand Tesla, I can get a 25 grand Tesla. Then, so hopefully they'll come away from that. And also, I think with the updates on FSD coming every 2 weeks and seeing the progress there, like if you've been watching any YouTube videos on people that have got the software, that have got the beta and are testing it, just the improvements, and we're starting to see a lot of videos now coming out of the comparisons from the initial release of FSD beta to now where we are with, I think we're on 10.7, 10.8. And so the technology is growing so well, and it's starting to see a lot of improvements. And like earlier videos where a lot of errors were being pointed out and the reasons that the car or the FSD software was not malfunctioning, but was making errors in its drive, we've started to see a lot of those corrections being made now, and a lot of comments from those that are beta testers that the car is learning on the route. So while it may do a route terribly on one drive, on the first drive, they've started to notice that once you've done the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth drive, the car is learning how to improve and is starting to be aware of the surroundings and aware of the environment that it's in. So that's all incredible news that's coming out for Tesla in 2022. So I think we will see 1200 again very soon, potentially. I'm hoping like first thing in the new year, and then come summertime, I think we could be ramping up for another wave of positive news and nice blue candles. Summer 1500, based on 2 new factories, the improvements in FSD and the 4680. I think mass media release and understanding of the 4680, a lot of it will be how the world receives this information with the 2 new factories, because then you've got 4 factories smashing out Teslas day and night. It's going to be a big year coming. That's my thoughts on Tesla, what we're seeing and the rebound we're finally getting. Hopefully I can stop crying myself to sleep every night at this long position I've been stuck in for so very long. As well, like, focus on that point, because this is put in perspective with me for trading of like, I've hypothesized, like, I do not want to be reliant on trading. I don't want to have it as an income source. I want it to be something that's on the side, and maybe something that I can use to grow capital to then use for other investments. But I really don't want to be reliant. I've said like I want to target 5 to 10 grand a month, but I don't want that to be an income that I'm reliant on living on. I don't want to have any expenses covered by my profits from trading. I want trading, as I said, to be take it out of trading, put it into a long-term investment like property and such, something that's less volatile, more reliable, has capital growth in the long term, and can give a steady, stable return, rather than the volatility of trading. It's been quite an eye-opener, being stuck in December after having November as a 4 grand loss overall, despite the huge 18 grand suffrage that I had one Monday morning on my way to holiday. Anyway, so after that whole month I managed to recover with just minus 4 grand, which is positive. So I did bring in 15 grand in that month. 10 grand was in 4 days, hence why I made a video about it. So it is looking up. I see a lot of volatility in trading, but overall it looks pretty positive, and with Tesla in the new year, we should be looking pretty good. So here's my update on Tesla, why, the reasons for the rebound. So just to recap, Elon Musk potentially done selling, although I do think there's more to come, but that's the significant points there. Elon Musk potentially done selling. Short positions then being closed out because of that news, so people will want to cancel their shorts and get out of it as soon as possible, because if they don't, they'll lose money. Opening the eyes for investors who are potentially now going to start entering their positions and buying up the stock, because with the news of Elon potentially being done, it means that it's at probably at its lowest point, so now good opportunity to buy it, as I did with my last purchase of the share. Unfortunately, I only had the money for one. Wish it was the money for 1 million shares. And lastly, with trading, I think it's going to open up a lot of positions for people wanting to take a long position. Wish I could take a long position now. Anyway, it's opened up the opportunity to take a long position and to see the market grow. So combine all of those, amalgamate them together, and you've got a lot of upward pressure on the stock now, finally, after such a heavy amount of downward pressure. If you found it helpful, if you found it valuable, if you think I've got some good points, please hit like and subscribe. And also, if you've got any other comments and feedback, stick in the comments below. And yeah, what's your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think this is now the rally up to where we see 1200 again? And will we see higher numbers? Let me know.